All right, let's see here, folks. We are up and live. I'm going to click go live on both of these here. And I am trying to simulcast at both times at the same time, both on TikTok here and on YouTube. This is the first time I've ever done this before. So, don't know exactly how this is going to turn out, but I am going to put my display right up here, and we're on the main page. And I'm not sure why I'm not seeing myself on on this here, which is my OBS. It says stop streaming, and it shows that I'm up and running, but I do not know why I am not at the top here in my picture. I don't know where my picture is, and so I don't see what's going on here, but I do see this here on TikTok. So I don't know if I've got anybody here that's with me. It says go live. So click it again, go live. What microphone? Mute mic. You don't want to mute the mic. We don't want to mute the mic. We don't even see the mic. We don't see the mic level. And it says offline. And so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to stream on here. I do not see no live videos yet. Manage your sources and scenes on the panel to the left of the screen. You can choose either portrait or landscape. And then here on my OBS, I do not see anything going on. Let's go on YouTube. And I see 2 viewers. But unfortunately, and I appreciate you being here, but I'm really trying to figure out for the first time how to simulcast so I can reach not only YouTube viewers, but my 14,000 viewers on TikTok. And so I'm hitting this thing here on TikTok Go live, and I can see my image over here on the TikTok, but something tells me I have a problem here with my camera source trying to use the same camera on both TikTok and YouTube. And I think that's what the issue is I'm having here. And so if I go back over here and I try to pick up camera, me, display, this would have been me here and webcam. And I may have to get another camera here, folks. And let's click OK and see if we are up and running now. All right. Still trying to get up and running and see how to figure out how to do this. And if we hit the go live here on TikTok, I do not see that I am open on TikTok. And we're going to close this scene panel. It says start again. Close that. Quit. There we go. Now let's see if it'll start. And it looks like we're going to start right now here on TikTok. Now, I do not know why I'm not seeing also a picture of me here on YouTube. Let me go over here now and see if it's showing up. No. See, I got 2 people here. And I appreciate hitting the like button, even though you can't see me. Don't know how I'm going to cure this. Hello, and please be patient, everyone. I'll just type that here on my YouTube channel, and please hold. All right, I'm trying to figure out how to simulcast here for the first time. And hello, D Hunter, and trying to see how to do this, but I do not see a way to use my camera on OBS at the same time. Live studio access will soon be available. Got it. Okay. Thank you. So on TikTok here, I guess I am up and running. It says live studio, and I hit go live down here. So let's see if it's working. It's trying to go live. And if it doesn't, then I will be able to renew the access, get access to go live. To renew the access, you need to meet the access requirements. Apply. Okay. Applying for access, cameras off. Now I should have this camera come on. So you guys here on YouTube should see me in a second here. And we're going to put webcam, OBS, go. And hopefully now I'll be up on the screen on here. Okay, good. Webcam. And I click on me, and I'm seeing nothing there. Uh-oh, folks. Where is me? Where have I gone? Where have I gone? It says right there. When I click on me, it says I'm right there, but I don't see anything there. So I'm going to delete that. Delete me. Yes, I am. Then I'm going to add a camera source. And it says here, window video capture device. And that will be this, what I want. And we're going to put me on here. There we go. Add. And we're going to, there we are. I'm in now. Okay, boom. Now I'm up and running. All right, good. So it says go live with Live Studio. You need to get 7-day access first. Your access will be automatically renewed for 180 days after meeting further requirements. Get access. I appreciate you guys holding here with me for a minute. And I'll actually, right now, put my display back up here. Right now, just give me a second. There we go. And then I'm going to put it up to size, transform, and fit the screen. And then I can put this over here so you can see what the heck I'm doing, everybody. Maybe if I can get it to open up. There it is. Boom. And you can see what I'm doing. 7-day, so getting access. Getting your access revoked. You will lose access to Live Studio if there are repeated violations of community guidelines if you don't meet requirements to go live with Live Studio. You can get access to go live again if you meet. You get, all right, so it says I got 7-day trial, and I hit click get access, and then it says nothing. So I don't know what happened there. I click get access, and I got a red thing over that now. So we're going to go back. And here we are on Live Studio on TikTok. I do not know what I'm doing here, but I'm trying. And it says no camera right now, so I can put in here, add a source camera. And then we're going to go over here. And we're just going to put on here me, where the camera is, my image. And we're going to hit enter. And folks, I'm sorry I'm not talking Sofi right now, but really just trying to pace myself through this, what I'm doing here. To renew the access, you need to meet the access requirements. Okay, apply. And let's apply now for access requirements. So we can stream, and we can get almost 10,400 viewers here on my TikTok channel. So while I'm doing my Sofi broadcast tomorrow, I'll have not just the 1,300 that are now on my YouTube, but I'll have another 11,000 or almost from TikTok. And so that'll be getting this valuable information about Sofi stock out to even more people. Okay. So I don't know what's taking up so much time right here for this to happen, but let me get to here and see if you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yes, you are. So welcome, 10 of you. Earnings in March. Earnings in March. No. Earnings report is going to be released in January. January the 30th is most likely the date. Hello, we the people. All right. Hello, D Hunter. And we the people. And I will be showing everybody some things here in a second about Sofi this evening. And one of them is that Sofi actually ended up, just like I said at the end of the night, green. There was the takedown, folks. We could have bought it at 962, and then it ran back up to 969. And I told you that would happen. I said it would happen, and I was right. And so I like being right, and all you people that are here, you see what I was right about. Now, I want to do one other thing. I'm going to go over here to Sofi institutions, institutional ownership. All right, and you're going to see that we got more institutions are coming in. And I just watched Danny Lopez, Hurricane Lopez, Danny Deals, and yep, you betcha. More institutions today. Capital was one of them, and there was another one I can't remember that bought positions, right? Along with this other institution here that came in. But those other institutions were just building on previous institutional positions. So we actually had 3 institutions today accumulating shares of Sofi before the earnings and profitability. So that should not be something that surprises anybody with all this volume we got coming in. And today's volume, again, was awesome. Let's get back over here and see if my TikTok's doing anything yet. Hold on. Okay. You need to get 7-day access first. Your access will be automatically renewed for 180 days after meeting for the requirements. All right, 7-day access trial requirements. Have at least 10,000 followers, which I do. Go live for one time in the last 30 days. Each live is at least 25 minutes. And I don't think I've done that. Go live for at least one time in the last 30 days. So that I do not qualify for, and have at least 10,000 followers. I have that on TikTok. So I'm not sure what's wrong with that. But they're not granting me the free trial access because I don't have those two things, or so they say. So goodbye to you, and we'll see you later, alligator. And if you go to TikTok, unless I had a bunch of my users drop off, which I don't think they did, or die on me, then I think I have over 10,000 subscribers. So that certainly should not be an issue. But I have to go up and do a live. And right now, I currently have on TikTok, if I look at my account right here, view profile, there we go. And I have 10,400 followers. So I have plenty of people that are here that are following me, especially when I do gas prices in Michigan, 7,333 views of that. And so I have a lot of followers on here, and we need to get them on this Sofi channel here with us, right, everybody? Get all these people over here. So I don't see the problem with the followers, but I have to do a live thing here on TikTok, which I will. And you guys can all then get to see me tomorrow, and maybe by then I'll do a short live one tonight. And then tomorrow when I'm up doing my live stream, I'll be able to do TikTok and this at the same time. But we got to get over this followers issue. All right. But anyway, so much for that effort. We're not going to be able to do that today, but that's okay. No big deal. So there you go again, folks. You can see institutions have increased over the today change of 7.40 million shares. All right. Institutional ownership change of 7.40 million shares, everybody, today. That's longs going up 2.04%. All right. And so there you go. Just want to make sure that you're very aware of this. And the institutional value went up 2,880,944 at 1,000 each. Okay. So, folks, they are just piling in on this thing right now. They're piling in on SoFi right now, everybody. And I wanted you to be aware of that. Now, let's see. We have 5 likes. Thank you for being here and liking this. And how do you like that? That Catfish, when it was dropping down in after hours, told you good place to buy, I thought. And some of you asked me at the time, and I certainly thought it was. So it seems like I was right on that today too. And then one thing I want to stress about today that was one of the most important factors is the fact that the run continues on these continued higher lows. And so if you look back to November 21st, you look at $6.41. And from that date, folks, the problem for the shorts is that they do not have a way to stop these continued higher lows, because more and more support is being built from the bottom side up. That's the kind you want. All right. You keep getting this support, you get more of a firm foundation, the more that build in below when it tries to drop to the lows. So every day we're seeing resistance come up a little higher, a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. And to be sure I'm clear on this, here was on November the 21st when it hit 6,041,6.41 for the low. And I want you to be aware of this volume increasing over here while I show you these numbers. 641. So that's 1 day up, 2 days up, 3 days up, 4 days up, 5 days up, a 21-cent pullback, 6 days up, 7 days up, 8 days up. So right here, you've got 8, 7 out of 8 days up. 7 out of 8 days up there. 8 out of 8. 9 out of 8 is still up. 10 out of 8. One pullback, 18 cents, not 21 this time, only 18. All right. So you've got only 2 pauses, if you will. And one of them happened after 641 on 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4, 5, the 6th day. That was your first breath that the stock took. All right. So you got that many days up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 out of 6, 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8, 8 out of 9, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 11, 11 out of 12, 12 out of 13. And then you got the pullback. All right. Just the same as before. It's at the exact same point, 6 or 7 days. All right. But this time you've got a pullback of only 18 cents. So right now, this stock is only breathing about every 6 or 7 days, because after that, you got a higher low, you got a higher low, you got a higher low, you got a higher low. All right, everybody? So it makes very good sense if you know what I mean. Trey Brown, I made a lot of money on Sofi, brother, 6 months ago. Tyler helped me. All right. Trey Brown. That's right, Mopar. Hello. Hello, my friend Trey. Nice to see you. Thanks for the comment. All right, there you go. And Mopar. Hey, Mopar hanging with me. Mopar in the tank. Yeah, baby. Yep. Tyler, where is Sofi going to? I'm going to show you here, Trey. Or where is a good entry? Well, a good entry would have been with me a while back when I came in at $4.66. Another good entry would have been when I just showed you there when the price was down here to $6.41. Now, I want to do this right here because I just see my big picture here. Yep, I see it. But I'm going to show you something here that's going to give you an idea of, even if you make an entry here and now or tomorrow morning or tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning when they attack it down, if that's what it is, or if it's tomorrow during lunchtime when they bring it down, or after 11:20, which lately has been very common of them to try to take it down at 11:20. But at any time you pick it up tomorrow, what I'll be able to show you is where you should be selling. All right, where you should be selling. Now you can just join me on my live channel tomorrow. You can figure out, because I'll tell you exactly when to buy it like I did today. I'll tell you exactly when to sell it like I did today. Right? D Hunter, Mopar, I love my jailbreak. All right. All right. Now, what I want you to know, folks, in regards to this interactive chart, is I want to change this to a 6-month chart. And then I'm going to pull it back like this. And for some reason now, I see that all of my lines that I had put in have disappeared. Shucks. I'm not sure why that is, folks, but at any rate, you'll still be able to see. Because, folks, at this point, we're going parabolic. All right. This is going to be unstoppable. Even with a lot less volume today, here the last 2 days, this thing is just going off. And look at all of these indicators. The 50-day gold line going up, the blue 45 up, the 10-day. And folks, I pointed this out to you 2 or 3 days ago. See how the 10 days a longer term, so the curvy line, the smooth curviness of it, it's not like the current price, which yanks up and down and up and down and up and down. 10-day, it's nice and slow moving, hardly moves at all, sluggishly curving along, but look at it change right there. On the 30th of this month, which is exactly 2 months before the next earnings call release, on that day was the day the longs came in and took control. And the bulls have not looked back since. Look at this thing gaping away here. Talk about gape up. Folks, this thing is gapping up right now like you wouldn't believe. And the reason I want to show you this on the 6-month is because I think we're really going to go parabolic here. All right. And the reason I say that is because this level that I'm showing you right now has been a level that has always been a stubborn level of resistance to this stock. All right. You can see that it was a level of resistance here. It was a level of resistance here. Forget about this day here. That's when the shorters and hedge funds pulled the big head fake on everyone. We hadn't even met the street that earnings call. We missed the street by estimates like 20 cents, and they ran the 210 volume on that thing and ran it up here to take advantage of everyone because they shorted it when they got it to 1170 that day. That's why I told everybody on my channel that day we're selling at 1166 when it gets there. Just like I told you today we were going to sell this morning when it got to 1155. This morning when it came out of the gate and shot up there so fast, I said we're going to sell this at 1155. Many of you did with me, right? And the advantage of that is if you get over here and you look at the chart and you see where it was at 1155 when we sold it right here. Folks, that was it. It was there. That was the top. It only went to 957. We sold it at 955. So we sold it at 955, and then we bought the heck out of it here at 936. It started building, and I was loading in buy orders below the current price. I had 50 at each number. From that number at a 936, I had 50 at 937, 938. As the price was rising, I was loading in buy orders. You all watched me do it. Sure enough, I caught all those that came at me because they attacked it again down to the same point, and every one of those orders I had loaded in got filled. And then I had to start loading them in again. When we got to 938, I put it again in a 936. When we got to 937, I put another 50 at 935. When we got to 938, I put a 966, 939, 967, 937. And I kept putting those orders in. And every time it would pull back 1 or 2 cents, I would catch one. And then, but it just kept going, didn't it, folks? All day, I kept loading in 50 share orders. And I'd catch 2 or 3 once in a while, but it just kept doing exactly what I said it would. I told you this was going to happen. I told you I was going to show you how to day trade this stock and make tons of money. And today I showed you. All right. You see the gain was 3.32% today, but I made 11% today. 11% gain. So, folks, I'm going to be showing you more and more because these days are going to get better. And what I loved is today we weren't able to see them pull back those 6 or 8 cent pullbacks. This pullback from 944 was only to 941, 936. Well, there you go, right there. They did an 8 cent pullback, right? And that's the number they usually get. And here we go from this number, 953, pull back to 948. 8 cent pullback, people. Right here from 968 down to what? 965. So they're getting weaker now, only a 3 cent pullback. And the rest of the afternoon, any pullback was just minuscule, all right, until they got here at this time at 3 o'clock and decided some profit taking was going on there, I do believe. It didn't matter to me because, folks, we're still up freaking 3%. And I told you we'd only be seeing gains of about 2 or 3% per day from now all the way until the next earnings call with a few occasional pullbacks. And so far, that's exactly what we've seen. That's exactly what we've seen, folks. Exactly. Now, I want you to know, Mopar Gunter, that's a sick Mopar. That day I sold and made my money. Yep, all right. Oh, good, Trey. Very, very good. That's good to know. All right, so tomorrow they may try the same thing they did this morning. In the pre-market at 7 o'clock, they were hitting it, folks. They had this thing down to 928, and I loaded up 950 shares at 928. And then a little bit later, they actually got it down to 925. I loaded up a bunch here. Yep. Mopar 12 plus. Yeah. And I'm going to show you this. All right. So here you go, folks. I'm going to put these things in again so you'll understand how this is going to work. Because right now, folks, we got a very, very exciting looking mirror pattern going on. And what I mean from that is call this right here the center. On 11/4, all right? I want you to call the date 11/4, the middle of the mirror, okay? And the reason I say that it was really at 12.19, but here was the very middle of the mirror, all right? Because you can see this being worked down. You can saw a little pullback up, and then there's the pullback up. So right here, I'm going to call this, draw this line, and I'm going to call this the middle of the mirror, everybody. You can watch this if you want. You don't have to. Hit the like button, everybody. Go. All right, watch what I'm going to show you here. This is important. All right, so that's the middle of the mirror. You can see as it came down, and you can see it working back up the same way, mirroring, all right? So right here, this peak would be that peak there. This drop is this drop over here. This peak is this resistance line right there. You can see them flatly on that same line right there, and I'll just put it in there, boom, right there. There you can see, all right? And folks, that line right there was for the very longest time. That thing was major resistance, especially here from the March the 15th all the way into May. And folks, I showed you during that time, when you look at the chart that I want to show you here, this one here, during that time, they were heavily borrowing on SoFi shares to make that thing drop. This is the time. During March and April, they were coming at it and they were borrowing shares very, very heavily, folks, to make that thing right there drop to this number, all right? And they did it all through here, all the way until right here, May the 15th, all right? And folks, you can see all the way from May the 1st, they just kept, you can't see the dates, they're up at the top. Here we go. Right here, folks, and you can see the dates up above my cursor. Their dates are right up here. You can see the dates from May the 1st. Look how many shorts they were borrowing, shares, borrowing to run it down. But when it got to May 15th, folks, that was the end of it right there. After that, this thing started going back up from the 445 and made a run all the way up to $10.23, which I showed you guys on this historical data chart right here, that after May the 15th, the dang thing took off from 445 and went all the way up in 30 days to this price, 1023. Look at the date of that. June 14th, 1023. What day do you think the shorters used and borrowed the most shares to short with? Huh, on that freaking day, people. Look at this here. June the 14th. They borrowed 9,300,000 shares. It was more than that. Look at that. 9,650,000 shares they borrowed to short with that day. All right. They almost had every single share wiped out that was there to short with. They almost took the whole 10 million. But folks, the problem was that SoFi was then at its high. And they had all been borrowing shares to short it back here when it was in the $4. You understand what I'm saying to you guys now? So all these positions that they shorted and borrowed money to short down to keep the price running down ran out on Chiaverini Day. No wonder they called him for help, because they were losing ground and they had to have him hit this on May the 15th right here with his downgrade that was right there, right about here, May the 15th. So folks, they were shorting all these positions, and during that time, folks, the price was in the $4 range and $5, and they borrowed shares to do it with, and now they have not returned those shares. If you watch Hurricane Lopez, he'll tell you that they have not returned the shorted shares. Folks, they're losing big time here. They got their backs up against the wall because they went the heaviest shorted positions to borrow to stop the run on the 14th, the day it hit 1023. So let me ask you this now. When this stock price starts to take off, what do you think is going to happen when it gets to 1023? All right. I can tell you, there's going to be a wall of resistance there like you couldn't believe, for one. So you might as well put your sell order in at 1021 or 1019, because then they're going to try to work it back down into the nines. I guarantee you they're going to try to shake this thing hard and back from 10, that number, down into the nines again, maybe as low as 966, maybe 955, maybe 949, maybe only as low as 977 or 988, but they're going to come at it when it gets to that 1023 number, because folks, they can't, once it breaks 1023, we're going to have a real squeeze then. All right. In my opinion. All right. So hold on till at least then. Sell half your shares on that price at 1019, and then expect a major onslaught of shorts trying to stop that thing from busting 1023, because that's where the price was that day when they borrowed 9 million shares to try to keep it there. All right. So you just keep that in mind, because there's a lot of shorted positions here from April and May, and all these borrowed shorted shares right here, they are losing money, all of them, because they own from in the 4s and 5s. And you can go back here and you can see it here. All of this, look at the prices here. This is all during the April when they were doing it. On this chart, you can see they started over here. They really started in March, the last part of March, 1st of April. Man, they started borrowing shares to short this thing down. And you can see what the price was doing. It was dropping and dropping. And look at this. They were borrowing, 5 million shares a day. And so they were using up, a quarter of the shares that were being traded each day, when you only had 20 million and 19 million and so forth. Well, those days are gone of 17 million, 18, 17, 16 million. Those days are over, folks. The shorts are in a major pickle here. All right. I believe. And I think we're going to see a major short squeeze. And it's really going to kick on once we break over 1023. And they can afford to take a little bit of losses. They might even not worry that much about it till it gets to 1050. But there's going to come a point where they're going to start saying, we're done. And once they realize that there's no way they're going to get back down in the 4s and 5s, even with another Chia Pansy downgrade, folks, it doesn't matter. At that point, it's too late. So they're going to be losing a lot of money between now and then, in my opinion. I could be wrong. D. Hunter, right. Too much volume. Shorts are strategically picking their battles. Yeah. And I'll be sitting back watching the battle. Yep. Mopar. And I'll be sitting back watching the battle like a seasoned vet holding my 10,000 shares that I got in the 6s. Damn right. That's right. So I show you this, people, because it's very important to understand that right now we're basically 60 cents away from a number they don't want to see us get to. All right. And they're going to fight like crazy when we get to that number. Okay. So some people have said, hey, you mean when we break over 10, do you think we'll have a pullback? And yes. And I do, only for that reason. There's a number that's 1028. And folks, once we break over that number, we may go to the next spot I'm going to show you right here. Everybody's asking, wants to know. I'm going to show you right now what we might do. So this being the middle point, and this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one, this is a resistance. That was 2. This is right here, this point right here. Okay. All right. Then we come up to here, and that point is this point right here. You can easily see it right there. That's a level of resistance. I'm going to move this up just a smidgen on this side. Oh, guess I'll go the other way. That's where I got the dot. All right. That's a line of resistance right there. But folks, I want you to be aware. This line that you see that it's here, it's here, and it's here. See? Well, folks, we have broken over that over here now. All right. So at this point, what you're seeing here, this line right here, no longer means a damn thing right here. That doesn't mean crap. The next place that there's resistance is at this level. And that says on my chart right here, around 966. 966 is the price where that line is I just put in, 966. Well, folks, I got news for you. Look where the price closed tonight. Right? 966. Because this has always been here on the drop, there on the pop, here on the pop, here on the pop, and here on the pop. It's always been a pullback pop spot. But each time they pulled it back from this spot, it stops at this line right here. This is the next. So, folks, the lowest you can expect it to go from where we are now is right there. All right, right there. All right, and that price is right just over $8. 808. but they're not going to go. It's not going that way for them now. All those 45 and 50 day and 200 day and 10-day moving average, they're all heading north. So I don't see that happening. So where's our next line? The next line where we have capitulation as the price was falling, folks, was right here. All right about there. And that price, as you can see, is going to be right there. And where that puts us at is right around 12 bucks. Okay. So very little resistance from this line that we just achieved here, right here, from this line here, right there. I don't see anything but this same mirroring image. And from this line where we hit all right here, I see this as the next place we're headed to, right there. And folks, that price right there is at right around $11.66. Okay. Now, where's our next level after that? Looking back on history. Okay. We're looking over here now. So you guys be aware that the next spot that there was major capitulation on this stock, folks, was here, right there. Right there. All right. So I'm showing you this line right here because there's a little bit right here you might consider. All right. That would be maybe right at this point right here. But folks, it's not much. There's not much resistance at that level. All right. So here you can see now we're getting into the $13 range. So my feeling is, as I look across here, after that level, though, folks, there is nothing between us there and one little pullback hitch, but it was right in here, right in this area, right there. I'll get to it in a second, folks. Right here is where it is. All right. So you guys are now getting to see these numbers that I'm putting in for you because, as you can see, historically, they were a point of resistance in the past as it dropped. And now these same points of resistance should exist as we pop. Now, with as much volume as we're going to have coming in and institutional buying and stuff, we might not see those sideways areas as long of a duration. Like this was probably, this right here was from the 7th all the way to the 27th, 20 days. Well, I don't expect to see that on the way up. I don't think we're going to see 20-day holdbacks. All right. But at least you can see how long some of these terms were here from the 31st of January all the way over to here in February, right? February 15th, a month right there, 3 weeks anyway. And then right here, you've got capitulation that was from 322 over to 4-1, right? So you've got 10 days at that number. But folks, the thing that's different is this thing's got a lot of volume coming in here now, all right? And you got a trajectory that is like this, all right? That's where you are. And you can use this trajectory line just like this trajectory line here that was the one that when it dropped, all right? And the difference you have between those two, oh, let me take this off here. Hold on a second. Let me take this off. All right, so does this make sense to everybody what I'm showing you here? Yep, Mopar and all sitting back. Yeah. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm showing here and this makes sense to you, everybody. Where this SoFi stock is headed in the future is going to be these levels that I'm showing you where resistance will be, okay? So that will give you an idea right now if you've got 5,000 shares that are in your bag, if you will, or even 1,000. You need to put 100 for sale right here at this price. And what I told you today, $9.77. I told you guys when it got to $9.77, I was getting out and I sold a bunch of shares there. I sold 1,000. I sold 3,000 at $9.66, expecting a big pullback off that. But when I didn't see it yank way down and only went down 2 cents off the 6.6, I knew we were heading for 7.7. And I thought we'd go to 8.8, to be honest with you. Had my next sell order in at 8.7. And I got 5,000 shares sitting there for sale because I guarantee you at 88, they're going to knock the crap out of this thing. Right? And I'm going to tell you why I know that. I know that because if I go over here to the historical data chart and I click down here and hit Control F, I see that I can put in an amount. And I'm going to put in 0.88. All right. Then I'm going to go scroll down here until June and May and June. And I'm going to see how many times I can find the number 88 by clicking this little arrow right here. All right. So there you go. I click on it and there's your first 88. And folks, guess what? It was the high of the day. They pulled it back. You can see that the day before it was at 556. It opened up 9 cents higher. From there, it went up 23 cents, and then they closed it down at 10 cents less. But there's your high, 88 cents. Let's go to the next place. There it is again, March 27th. They closed at 574. Next day, it opened up 8 cents higher, went up 6 cents, and stopped at 88. Closed it at 576 in the day. Okay? So there's your next 88. Let's go find the next 88. Where was that? April the 20th. And on April the 20th, it was actually a low resistance because what happened is it closed at 608 the day before. And then on the next day opened up at 598, doggone 10 cents lower. And then when they drove it down to the low that day, it stopped there, 588. All right. And my guess is from 598, it went to 605, and then they attacked it at 930. At 945, and at 945 they knocked it down from 605 to 588 because it closed 592. And easy for them to do when you only got 16, 17, 18 million shares like you got over here now. So now after that 88 cents that I point out to you there, where's the next 88 cents? Right here, April 26th, and guess what? Look, it was the high of the day. See, they love that number 88, shorts do. The day before, they closed at 575, opened up at 581, ran up to 588, and then look where they dropped it to, the 66 number. Closed at 1 penny above the 66. What do you know? So this is why I tell you, when I sell at the 88, I'll buy back at the 66 tomorrow, okay? When I sell at 988, chances are I'll get this back at 966. Now, let's go to the next place that 88 cents was. You guys, if you're learning something here, please hit the like button. All right, please. See, we got a lot of people here. J-Rod1. Oh, look at all these people commenting. Holy cow. SoFi is a great day trade stock. That's right. J-Rod, anyone thinks it's going to go sub 850 one more time before going back up? I think it will dip to the mid 850s for support maybe, Connor says. And then J-Rod says, I hope one more time. LOL, J-Rod1. Yeah, I got you. Are you all buying shares or options? I'm buying shares. I don't touch options. Shares at sub 850. Right? But I'm going to show you guys something here. And you're going to see that tomorrow this thing's going to probably hit 988. And the lowest it's going to pull back is going to be 966. I think you guys are pipe dreaming to get 850. I don't see it. All right, so let's go to the next place where it hit 88. So you can see why I'm going to sell at 988 tomorrow. There you go, September the 5th, 888 was the high. You can see that it closed the day before at 879. The next day it opened 4 cents lower. They ran it up right here at 888. That in the morning, it hit that number and they stopped it. And then they ran it back down to a low of 862 and it closed at 875. Okay. Now we're going to go to the next place where we see 88 cents by clicking down here. And it says up here on September the 15th, see it right here closed at 905. Next day opened at 9. They let it run up to 9. They probably took it to it is what they did. And from 9, they ran it down to that number 12 cents. And then it ran up to the high at the end of the day, 914, and they pulled it back in the last 30 minutes to 907. That's my guess. Now you're going to see here, it didn't quite hit 888. They pulled it and stopped it at 887. And that's why I put my sell orders at 887. And on that day, I sold at that number right there. And I told everybody to sell with me on that day. Okay? because I know that they'll stop it sometimes at 888, but you can only get 2 or 5 shares there, so your best off is to take the 887. So tomorrow my sell orders are going to be in at 987, okay, for 5,000 shares. And then I expect to pull it back. They'll pull it back from there. Now, then I want you to go over here and let's look at the next place 88 cents was on October the 30th. See, they closed the day before at 687, opened it at 760, ran it up. It actually got attacked from 760 all the way down that day to 668, people. And it was at 788. That's $1.20 difference, folks, because this October 30th was the earnings call day. Okay. And they attacked it with 125,000 shares, just like they did on May the 1st. But this time they did it on the earnings call of October 30th, hit 760 at the open, went up to 788, and they attacked it down on 125 million, closed it at 694. All right. And the next day, it came up, and then let's find the next 88. Look right there. There it is, November the 2nd. And as you can see, it was the low. They closed at 758 the day before. It opened up freaking 32 cents higher. Then it went to 820. And folks, the low after 790 to open in the morning, they ran it down to 788. 2 cents was all they could pull it back. But it hit 88 again, folks. So am I getting my point across to you about this? The number's 88. Here on November 17th, look, closed at 671 the day before. Next day opened up 9 cents higher, went up 8 cents, and bam, they took this down to 665 after that. And then it pulled back up after that little rundown. They tried to get 666. So do you see what I say when I sell at the 88, I'm going to get back at the 66? Because that's 2 times now I've shown you where the high was the 88 and they pulled it back to the 666. Okay? All right? And then we're going to go to the next place where you see 88 cents on this chart. And let's get on up here and see where the heck it is. March 23rd, it was the high that day. See the day before, it closed at 556, went to 565 the next morning. And folks, after the 565 opened, the dang thing was attacked down to 557, 8 cents down. I told you that I had to pull this stock down 8 cents. And then it ran from there to the afternoon to the high of 588. And then they closed it down 10 cents high. They tried to splash the close that day. Okay. Oh, all right. All right. You really? Okay. Yeah, I guess it's 10 o'clock. Jeez, oh Pete. So, folks, all of you who've been here with me, 63 of you, I want to thank you for being here during my little thing here that I'm showing you about these numbers and where I think we're going to see the prices go. I hope it's been helpful to you. And it's getting late here, man. It's getting late. That's what I see what these guys are saying here. J Rod, anyone thinks it's going sub 850? I just hope. Yep, one more time. I'm a D Hunter 1015. Yep, 1015. All right. D Hunter says 1015 he's calling for. Mopar says 850 is history. I agree. I totally agree. 850 is out of here. You're never going to see it again. I meant to say 950. Connor Roberts. Okay. Yep, J Rod. That's where I'm afraid of. LOL. Yep, Mopar. Well, I got news for you, folks. When you look at this chart right here, and you see where we are currently, I pulled off one of my lines I didn't want to pull off right there. Sure can.
And are you going to be done here?
Yeah, I'm going to close right now. Yep, close right now. And that line should be there. So, folks, when you look at what I'm showing you here, and you see this next level of resistance, and we're already breaking over this one that we've seen so many times in the past. You can see that it was a resistance on this drop. You can see it was a resistance on this top. It was a triple top here, resistance. And now we're going at it again. And this is the next level. We went past this triple, quadruple top. And here we've only got one level that was higher. And then if you look back across this line, it's the same resistance right there, folks. So once we broke over that 977, and that's why exactly, you can see it's right on the 977 there where I've just had it. 977 was where it was, folks. There it was before at 977. And so the reason I'm pointing this out to you, folks, is because that's why I sold it today there, because this was a line I had in the sand at 977 right there. 966 I sold too. But look at the next level. It's right up here, folks. This is where the next level is, right here. You're talking $12.13. That's the next place we're headed to, folks. All right. That's my true belief, is the next level of resistance from where this is right here that we're topping above. The next level is right here, right there, where I've got that line, wherever that turns out being right there. You'd be wise to sell this stock at $11.96. Put a sell order in at $11.96, folks. And the next place you want to put a sell order in is right here at $12.13. And folks, you might even, after you get 11.96 and you sell 12.13, this thing's going to go right on up to the next level of the bar I have. And that's going to be here, folks. 1471. The next level of resistance is going to be here, and that number is going to be right here. 1648. You're going to sell. All right. These are the numbers, folks, that I expect to see us achieve. And you can see the timeline. Right here, we're in at this number, we're the end of January and we're approaching $15. That's if the trajectory stays the same as it is now, that's where we're going to be, folks. So be patient. Be patient. And we may hit $15 on earnings call day. All right. And it may even go higher because of them beating the street and then the pensions now being able to come in. Pension funds are going to come in big time on this stock once it shows profitability. I can almost guarantee it, people. Pension funds are just sitting there right now. Oh my God. I can't wait. Pension funds. That's what they're doing. Yeah. Because when they start coming in, folks, we're not going to have institutional ownership being at the level that it is right now, folks. Institutional ownership is fixing to skyrocket. And right now, you can already see they're piling in as we speak. We had 3 new institutions today. One was a brand new institution that came in today and raised our institutional level to 717. And you can see 660 of them are long, 25 short, 32 long and short. So, folks, the change today was 2% institutional gain, 7.42 million shares. There's your change, folks. It's a big change in institutional shares. Look at this to the upside. 38.69 is now owned by institutions. When the pensions start coming in, it's going to jump to 60% owned by institutions, folks. You'll see. You watch where we are 2 months from now. I guarantee you we'll be around 50% owned by institutions, because once the pensions can come in, they'll be buying up hundreds of thousands of shares. And talk about a short squeeze, man. The share tree is going to get thin, people. That's my call. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Hurricane Lopez, all right. Turn the volume up to 10 and rip the knob off. Hey, man, mine goes to 11. You know that one, right? Hurricane. Mine goes to 11. Spinal tap, right? Look at where we're headed here. Look at these lines, Mr. Lopez. Look at these lines of resistance. And the funny thing is, I had these drawn in yesterday, and I went to your channel today, and I saw you were comparing the same lines of resistance. We think alike, my friend. We think a lot alike. I'm showing each one of these lines here of where the resistance is as we continue this climb. And these are where they are. All right. There's none, like you said, there's a lot of room for gapping up here. All right. And a nice fast escalation, in my opinion. And I wanted to show you something here, Hurricane. Check this out. Check out this action right here. All right. When you get in here on this summary, on this chart summary here for Sofi, and you look at the freaking 1 year chart, and I should do it on the summary page because it's easier to see it that way. All right, let's get to the 1 year chart. Folks, this is the thing that you need to understand the most about this stock, in my opinion, and that is this was the number of shares SoFi had available to borrow in 2023. Official KC, great stream. Tyler, love the info. In your opinion, would you sell a few shares in the following days, expecting a light pullback before it continues up? They're going to run it over $10 to 10.13, and you sell some there, and then pull it. They'll pull it back down. Then you're going to get some in the 901 area from 10.13, maybe even as low as 997, and after that, or 988. But anyway, when you get those, then it's going to run past 10.13, and I'm going to show you the number it's going to then 10.23. I'm going to go show you why. Because as I was saying to you, Hurricane, look at all these shares they were borrowing from the March when it started its total run downwards, from March when it really started coming down. And you can see in March, the price from March to April to May, they just ran it down to the lowest it ever was at 445, all the way to May 15th. And folks, they were borrowing tons of shares here per day here on this day. And by the way, this is the number of shares that you see up at the top. 5.2 is how many was remaining. This is how many they were borrowing each day. All right, they were borrowing right here. So on this day they borrowed 13 million, because there's 10 million available. This day, I mean, they borrowed you can see 6 million. This day here, when it get closer to the May, you can see they borrowed 7 million. And here on this day, Hurricane, look at the day, June the 14th, and they were only left with 350,000 shares. Well, guess what had happened on June 14th, Hurricane? The price had gone from 445 1 month earlier, May 15th, to June 14th. It had gone up to doggone 1023. And on that price, folks, on the 14th, they borrowed almost all the 10 million shares that were available to borrow, Hurricane, to get to that number and stop that from running. The problem for them is they kept getting higher levels of borrowed shares. The price just kept going up this whole series from the May the 15th all the way until this date. So, folks, and you've already pointed out to me, Hurricane, that they haven't returned these shares. All of these shares that they borrowed shares to short with, they haven't returned them. They still haven't returned them. And folks, they're in a bear trap here, and they own these shares from the May 15th, 445, all the way down here as it kept getting higher and higher. They kept on shorting it, and even shorting it with borrowed shares at the price of 1023. All right. So my call is, once we break over 1013 and then there's that major pullback, the next time we run and we get to 1023, you better expect a lot of resistance at 1023. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. All right. So anyway, it's important to understand this, folks. There were major amounts of shares borrowed by these people trying to run us into the ground, but it backfired on them here. Here's where it backfired on them. This is where it majorly backfired on them. And May the 3rd, those shares that they came so heavy on us after May 1st call, all these shares, they borrowed a lot of these shares. All right. And the prices was here where they were shorting them. Are you getting it? All right. I've said enough. I got to get to bed. You guys, I've had a good time with you. We had an after hours go up today, which that almost never occurs with this stock. A lot of firsts going on here. Yeah, look for a move over 10 this month, and then 1245 area pre-ER. Coiled spring is tighter than ever. Balls in a vise. That's what I say, baby. That's what I say. There they are. They're right there, and we're just squeezing them. You see that? Everybody, we're just squeezing them. Squeeze. All right, everybody. So that's what I wanted to show you today. And I want to show you one last thing or two, and then we're out of here. Absolutely out of here. I want you to look at this right here, what's happened since the May 15th and that run up to 1023 in 1 month. And there was 18 out of 21 days with a higher low. Now I want to come down here, up here, and finish out with this for you to make you feel good, folks, and you guys will sleep good tonight. When you get here and you look at what happened when the price was 641, look how many days now we've had a higher low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 21-cent pullback. So that's 5 out of 6. And Hurricane, notice it was on the 6th day. The 6th day that they pulled it back. I've shown you that already, the 6 days. So there's 5 out of 6, 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8, 8 out of 9, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 11, 11 out of 12. And that again is the 6th day where they tried to hold it. Then you got 12 out of 13, and then a slight pullback, not 21 cents, but this time only 18 because they don't have the strength anymore. All right. So you got then you got on up. You got 6 out of 8, 7 out of 9, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 11. You got freaking 9 out of 12 days with a higher low, and this is very similar to the run from May when they had it down to 445 on Chiaverini Day, up to a month later, and it hit 1023. And I want to point out to you one other thing, that at that big run back then, we knew that they weren't going to be profitable on their next earnings call yet. We knew that, but this time's different. We know they're going to be profitable on their next earnings call, and we still got another freaking month for this thing to go up. That's right, a month's worth of trading days to keep going up. Back about 30 more days of trading. And folks, this thing could easily get over 10 in the 11s, and like he says, into the 12s, Hurricane says. And I think it could too. All right. Now, so that's the one thing I wanted to show you. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these lines off here, every one of these lines off. Now, you've seen where we're going. You've seen how long it could possibly take to get there. And I just want to end with this beautiful, beautiful chart that I'm going to show you right now, folks. And that is this one. That's going to be this 5-day chart. Folks, I want you to look very close at what is happening right here. It is following my trend line here perfectly. And every effort they've made to take this thing down below it, it's always risen above, and it's about to do the same thing right now, folks. It's going to break over this line, in my opinion, just like it did here when they tried to pull it down below it. But this time it's going to have a nice solid run, because this is capitulation. You got the 45-day there. Look at it. It's breaking away the blue one from the 50-day gold right now. This thing is separating, and this was when people like Kathy Wood buy more, when they see the shorter term 45-day gaping away from the little longer term 50-day. I pointed that out twice in the past and said I thought that she would enter, and both times that I pointed that out on the chart, she came in. I'm not saying she's listening to me, but folks, I'm just telling you. And I see Mopar. I ain't selling shit. Yep, they didn't count on retail figuring it out and buying the hell out of the dip. Shorts are screwed. That's right, Hurricane. They're completely screwed. So, folks, that's going to be it. I'm going to finish this off tonight. If you want to know where this is that I use this page here, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it over here so you guys can come back anytime you want, look at this video again, and you can see where I found that information, because you need to keep an eye on this in the future. And especially, you should be looking at it when they have earnings call the next time. Now, my belief is, as I've also with Hurricane on this, the institutions have not touched SoFi yet because they can't. Their bylaws don't allow them to buy into a stock until it gets profitable. When the pensions start coming in on this baby, look out, people, and they will be coming in on that day that earnings are announced and SoFi is profitable for the first time in its existence. Since its inception, SoFi is going to go profitable, and folks, the pension funds are going to come in, and I have no idea with that much volume coming in to try to get their hands on SoFi. SoFi, those institutions, they may have the power to propel this up way past 15, 17, 19, 21 in the 20s. I have my sell orders as high as 37.50 on this stock, people, because I don't know how damn high it could go once the pensions start coming in. All right. And they're going to add a lot of stability to the stock. We're not going to be this SoFi little nappy headed, red-headed stepchild that they can just beat around. When we get pensions in there and all those ETFs and fund managers coming in on this thing, you don't know how high it's going to go. Go ahead and put your orders in for sale, good till canceled, and put them in the 11, 12, 12, 12, 13, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 16, 12, 17, 12, 18, 19, 20. Trust me, just put them in, because as long as all your shares are tied up and up for sale, they cannot be borrowed by the shorts. It's another benefit to what you're doing when you put your sell orders in real high. They can't borrow them to short them. All right, that's it. I've had a great night with you folks. Thank you very much. Break out the guitar, Xavier says. Well, I might do that tomorrow, but it's too late tonight. My wifey Pooh is already in bed, and I'm going to go join her. So thanks for being here with me, everybody. Thank you so much. Everybody, go over and this guy that's here with me, Hurricane Lopez. You better get over there and check out his channel, people. I'm telling you now. Go over there, check out his channel. All right. Exit stream. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to exit the stream. I want to say chat. So good night to all, and make sure you go check out Hurricane Lopez. All right. Lopez channel. All right. Please get over there. Do yourself a favor. If you like me, you'll like him. And one of these days, I'm going to figure out a way to get us both up simulcasting so we can join in like you did with the guys at Trading Fundamentals there, Hurricane. All right. And look at D Hunter, champagne glasses. Mopar, good till in casket orders for me. All right. Good till in casket orders for me. Yeah. I got it. Good till in casket. Beautiful. I love it. Yep. And I'll break out that guitar for Xavier tomorrow. Tonight, there's no trading, so I only break it out to help run the price up. You know how I work. All right, everybody. It's been a great night. Make sure you go check out Hurricane Lopez, everybody. Definitely do that. You'll enjoy it. And like I said, one day you're going to see he and I, and we're going to be duking it out together here, and we're going to be helping hammer those and slam those shorters. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to say farewell to you now. I'm going to find a way to get this picture of me up a little bit bigger. And I want to say one thing. In order to be a person who owns shares in SoFi stock, everybody, there's a must. There is one absolute must. And that must is that you got to have some of these. All right. You got to have some of those, people. You cannot be a wussy, a wimp, and you cannot be what's her name for the Budweiser commercial, Dylan. Okay, you can't be a Dylan, right? You got to be a Dillinger. All right, everybody. Thanks again for being here with me. And tomorrow, this is what you're going to see, the SoFi chopper again. It's going just like this, folks. And it's going to lay some tread right across those shoulders. All right, everyone. So again, thank you very much for being here. And I'm going to call it a night. We'll see you guys in the morning. Catfish will be up around 4, seeing what they're doing in the early pre-market for you. And this morning, when I got up at 4:27, the price was at 9:40, and I knew we were going to have a good day. So that's it, everybody. You guys all have a great night. Mopar, thanks for the peace sign. You guys, we'll check you later. And man, as always, I wish you all the happiness, all the healthiness, and most often, the prosperity, and that you are surrounded with love.